One independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. Today's show, you can join us. You can actually be a part of the program by giving us a call at 888-250-2091. Now, that is a slightly different number than we've used in the past. The old numbers will still work. This is the same one as last week, guys. This will be the new number going forward. 888-250-2091. Now, of course, when you call that number and you're a part of the program, if you ask a question, make a comment, just be a part of the show, you will be put in a drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate that we give away at the end of the show. Now, Addie, in the Schrock Innovations prize department, she manages the fabled prize closet, if you will, has asked me to remind you that you can only win once per every 90 days. So make sure everyone has a fair chance to win this afternoon. All right, we have a big show to cover for you guys today. A lot of stuff going on. Wow, there's so much. I actually have a list in front of me just so I don't forget anything. So first of all, if you missed last week's show, it's definitely something you're going to want to go back and check out. We went through a lot of the news of the day stories, normal stuff that we do, but there was a story at the very end of the show about the one security thing you're not doing at home right now that you should be doing. That security thing is your wireless router. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I know I need a password. You might even have the admin account locked down. The thing I want to point out is if your wireless router has not been replaced, as in thrown away and bought a new one, needed or not, in the last 5 years, your wireless router is no longer supported. There's no longer security updates for it. And as a result, your wireless router is vulnerable to all kinds of attacks and hacks and nasty stuff. So you want to make sure that you get that wireless router replaced at least once every 5 years, again, needed or not. With all the increase in streaming that everybody's doing, most people have already replaced their routers within the current 5-year iteration, just because the old routers weren't designed for that kind of streaming. Also, wow, we're going to talk about the Disney Plus phenomenon that's going on, and also what you need to do to make sure that your Disney Plus account is protected. Apparently, where 10 million people show up to buy accounts, thieves also show up to steal them. So we're going to tell you what's going on there on the program as well. Safe Upgrade is happening right now. That was fired off this last week. Ironically enough, they had Patch Tuesday on Tuesday, and then they had Safe Upgrade on Wednesday. So they released that big update on Wednesday, the Wednesday after a Patch Tuesday. By the way, folks, on Facebook, people who are watching us live at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, let me know if the volume levels are okay. I didn't have time to do a sound check beforehand. The volume dial is at the appropriate location. I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me okay there as well. Yeah, the Safe Upgrade thing. So what happened is people got updates for Patch Tuesday, and your Windows computer downloaded those updates, but before you can install Safe Upgrade, those updates have to be installed in the computer. So a lot of people reported having an issue where they would try to install Safe Upgrade, but it would tell them it couldn't install, and then they would reboot their computer and try a second time, and it would work. But when they rebooted the computer, it would say installing updates, and they're like, oh, well, maybe this is the update, and then they would check it, and they would say, whew, it's still 1903. What happened here? Well, that was because it was installing the cumulative update for 1903 that was released on Patch Tuesday, not version 1909, which was released on Wednesday, because that's super not confusing. Long story short here, the Safe Upgrade is fired. If you purchased a copy of Safe Upgrade, it is time to run that on your computer. If you're not home right now and you can't run it on your computer, as long as your computer is turned off, you're okay. So if you're planning on leaving town or you don't want to deal with it till you get back, just turn your computer off and it'll be fine. We have seen on the bench, we had a problem with Drive Advisor. Drive Advisor was creating a situation where it would just sit and spin. Literally, it was the spinning problem is what we're calling it in the shop, because it says working and the little circle just spins and it never shows you your drive information. So we figured out a good chunk of that. We've got that resolved now. It was causing Safe Upgrade to hang up while it waited for Drive Advisor to tell you whether or not the hard drive was okay. We didn't see a lot of bad hard drives with this iteration of Safe Upgrade, which was great. Normally we see a rush of bad hard drives. It sounds like people are actually getting Drive Advisor and monitoring their hard drives, which is great. So we got past that hurdle. The actual installation of 1909 goes pretty smoothly. The big thing that we've seen is we've seen this twice on the bench in the service center, where customers have brought in computers that reported that they tried to do the 1909 installation themselves at home, and after the installation completed, the computer rebooted and all of their stuff was gone. All of their data, all of their programs were there, but all their personal data was gone. No pictures, no documents, no nothing. Luckily for those two computers, we were able to recover that data and get it put back where it needed to be. But it's just that word of caution, you guys. I don't want to sound like a doomsday record, because it's going to happen to you at some point. You're getting one of these updates twice a year. At some point, your number is going to get called, and you're going to be the person that loses everything and has to bring the computer into the service center and spend $100 to $200, or worse yet, a data recovery that starts at $400 to get your stuff back. So I would implore you guys, just use Safe Upgrade. There are still about 60 copies left of Safe Upgrade on the website at SchrockInnovations.com. You can click on Shop and Specials and get yourself a copy of that, but it will install this 1909 update for you the same way we would do it on the bench. And most importantly, it gives you a warranty. So if something like that does happen, you're covered. We're going to make it right. We're going to bring it in and figure out what we need to do to get that restored and resolved for you. And we've had a lot of success doing that for customers who have been hit with that problem. It's just those customers didn't buy Safe Upgrade for $50, so they ended up paying like $220 to get their stuff back. So the update from Microsoft is absolutely free. It will be forced downloaded to your computer. You have no choice. You will get it. That's just the way the world works now. That's the way every operating system is everywhere. There is no place you can go to be like the good old days of having a typewriter where it just doesn't update itself. Those days are gone. Even your car is getting updates every day from the internet now. So everything's getting updates every day. If you want to make sure you stay on top of those updates, we're here to help you do that. So check out Safe Upgrade. Again, if you're just joining us, it is time to run your Safe Upgrade. We sent out emails. We sent out phone calls. We did everything we could do. I did a Facebook Live. We pushed it out everywhere we could to make sure you run that. And I still get an email from someone, literally. Let me read this email. It's kind of funny. All right. I won't say who it's from. Well, I see you sent this out on the 13th, and I didn't see it till just now. This was last night at 7:54 p.m. Almost 8 o'clock on the 16th. Now what? I still don't have version 1903. Help. What can I do? You can run Safe Upgrade. So I'm going to respond to that email, but you have Safe Upgrade. You got to run Safe Upgrade. If you didn't buy Safe Upgrade, then you have a choice. You can just let your computer do its thing. You can let you be you, let the computer do its thing. If it is successful and if you are able to get 1909 with no issues, hoorah, congratulations. You are the man or the woman. If it doesn't work, then you're going to come and see your friendly neighborhood, computer guys, and that's us. Well, we want it to work for you. So we have this product called Safe Upgrade that dramatically increases the probability that you're going to have a successful installation of 1909. So Safe Upgrade is not called Sure Upgrade. If your computer has an issue that's going to cause a problem with this update, we're not going to just force it through and just live with the problem. We're going to stop and have you bring that in or have a technician connect with you over the Schrock desk. I know a lot of you have had Schrock desks. This particular installation wasn't problematic to do, but it was problematic to get started for some reason. So a little bit weird this time around, but everyone who has had Safe Upgrade, for the most part, has had a very smooth experience. There are some people who have had problems, but we've been there to help them on the Schrock desk. By the way, if you did get help on the Schrock desk, give me a call here on the show, 888-250-2091. Let me know what your experience was like with the Schrock desk. Let me know who helped you. Was it easy to connect? I love to hear that kind of stuff. All right, so coming up on the program today, we've got holiday special and computer sales are going on right now. Just crazy this time of year. Schrock Innovations does almost 3/4 of our annual business in November and December of the year. So this is, if there is a busy time, this is the busy time. And much like a restaurant, when things get busy, it takes the employees. So when things are slow in a restaurant, you ever notice this? When the restaurant is slow, it takes forever to get your food out, right? Like everyone's just kind of moving along. And then all of a sudden the restaurant gets fast. And then later on, as they're fast and busy, the food just comes popping out the kitchen, hot and fresh, good to go. But there's this weird intermediate time in between those two events happening where the staff is almost shell shocked because they're so used to it not being that busy. And then all of a sudden it is that busy and they realize all their systems can handle this. This is what we were made to do. And all of a sudden the clouds part, the rays of sunshine come through. Oh, and it's amazing customer service just pouring out the front door. It's amazing. That's where we're at right now. Is we're just the Papillion Service Center is they're building like elves in a hollow tree. They've got so many computers going through there right now that, that they are just, I'm sorry, they are. They're the Keebler elves and they're building computers and doing data transfers and making sure that everything is just right and just perfect. We have a radio station in Lincoln giving away 15 of our computers for the holiday season this year as prizes on their station. Well, those computers are coming off the presses and they're nice. We're upgrading the solid. We had to call them and tell them, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to upgrade your solid states because you see we launched the 2020 model year. So you're going to have to get slightly better computers than what we were going to give you before. Is that okay? And well, the radio station is used to having like weird things happen. They're like, wait a minute, better how? No, like really, really better, like nice computers. So anyway, we won the Best of Omaha, the Best of Lincoln. We got the Sarpy County People's Choice Award this year. It was truly a phenomenal quote unquote award season. So we have the holiday special every year, which was the great, big, bad, amazing computer, a computer that is so far overspec'd for what you're doing right now that it's going to last you for a decade. That's the holiday special. It's a $3,000 computer that sells for cost at $14.99 at Schrock. Price it out anywhere. It's a $3,000 computer. I had a guy on the phone, like going over each part, asking me for the numbers of the parts so he could go out and build a shopping cart. And he was like, how are you guys selling these for $14.99? Well, we batch produce them. So at the holiday special, we wait until we have 10 or 12 computers together in a batch, and then we place that batch order, which gets us a part discount on each component. And then, of course, then the Papillion Service Center gets, punch me in the face, Guido, like, bam, all of a sudden, all these parts show up in one day, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're building. And they're just by the time they're done, they get a day where they only have to build 5 or 6 computers in a day, and then bam, all over again. It hits them in again. So it's pretty cool. So that's how your holiday specials are being built. The first tranche of them has gone out the door. The next group of holiday specials is being built right now, actually. So you're going to be seeing your computers, if you've already ordered one, coming out here pretty quickly. I'd love to hear from you if you have yours, by the way. Tell me what you think of it. So the holiday special is happening right now, but because we won those 3 competitions, we've kind of felt like we needed to do something special as well. And it was really weird last week to launch or to talk about Safe Upgrade happening imminently, to have a holiday special launch. And yeah, we're going to put all of our computers on sale too. It was last week was a really, I don't know, I felt like I was doing too much in one show. So this week I want to slow that pace down a little bit and tell you, yes, the holiday specials are out. We're going to talk about them in the next segment. They are amazing. The reception has been great. The reviews are phenomenal. But also in the background, what you may not have heard about or noticed is all of our computers, all the base models, down from the cheapest modular computer and the most expensive solid state laptops, they're all discounted anywhere from $50 to $150 for the month of November. And the reason that we're doing this is because we won all 3 of these competitions because you guys voted for us. It's not like there's a nominating committee that decides who these best of people are. These are votes that individual consumers and businesses go online to place. And when they place votes for Schrock Innovations, they take time out of their day to do that. It means a lot to us. It genuinely does. Everybody is quick to tell you when something goes wrong. But to have that many people tell you you're doing something right is really special. And so I wanted to do something to thank you guys for that in some way. So what we did is we said, let's take all of our computers, all 6 of our normal base models that are all on the website. They're all on the website right now. They're all discounted. But on top of that, what about the people who bought a computer, 2 weeks ago, but don't have it yet because it's being built for them? Well, let's give them a little bonus too. Let's give them the 2020 model year parts. So let's bring all the specs up to what we're going to be offering next year. So everybody who thought they were getting the 2019 parts is actually going to get the 2020 parts. So basically right now is a really odd time at Schrock when you can get next year's computers this year and you can save some money doing it. So if you're in the market for a laptop or a desktop, if your family needs a new computer or you've got an older one that you're looking at replacing, this is the time to do that at Schrock. We always have sales and special offers, like we'll have the ultimate upgrade where we have a special computer built. And we have the holiday special where we have a special computer built. But we very rarely put our normal computers on special. In fact, we never do that. So this year has been a 20th anniversary year of Nevers. We put labor on sale once this year. It was so popular, then we gave it away free on Veterans Day. Why not? And then after that, now the computers are on special. So it's a pretty cool time at Schrock. So I'm not going to spend the whole time talking about computer sales, but I'm just going to say if you're in the market, this is the time to go take a look over at Schrock Innovations. Last but not least, guys, Veterans Day was a huge hit this year. I can't tell you how humbling it was to have veterans coming in there, veterans of all ages. We had the Korean vets coming in. You also had some guys that served in the sandbox that came in, and they're great all around, just great people. And some of them were older Schrock customers that have been with us for years, and some of them were new customers we'd never seen before. But we served over 38 veterans on Veterans Day, which, I know when you say we served 38 veterans, if you're talking about a pancake feed or the free breakfast at Hy-Vee, 38 veterans is nothing. You don't go to Hy-Vee the morning of Veterans Day. You just don't do that, because they give free breakfast to veterans on Veterans Day, and all of the veterans. I think there was a platoon of veterans that showed up for the free breakfast. So we didn't quite have a platoon show up. We had 38 veterans show up to take advantage of the special. But the 38 veterans, we were able to give away thousands of dollars in free services, because literally we kind of had a little competition going between the shops of which shop could give away the most stuff. And it was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And what's cool about this is let's see if the kiddies actually listen to the program. Because I tell these young guys, you got to listen to the show. And they're like, Thor, we tell you everything that you put in the show. So what are we going to learn from the show? And I tell them, I talk about you guys all the time. But one of the things that we've done at years that we've struggled with at Schrock was taking some of these younger guys and teaching them that community matters. Teaching them that you need to give back. We've done things like we took all the staff to Walmart and we gave each one of them $20, and we said, go buy a present, and we're going to wrap the presents, and we're going to do the Toys for Tots thing. We did that one year. One year, the lovely Kimberly had this idea. You get people that go to the food bank to do birthday parties for their kids, and you can get like a birthday cake box at the food bank, but you can't get like plates and you can't have like the birthday experience, the cups and the plates, and it's all themed together, like moms do for kids. So wouldn't it be cool if we did birthday in a bag, where we bought all this stuff and we assembled a themed birthday party and took it to the food bank in a big cello bag, and you can come to the food bank and get a birthday party for your kid. And, the guys put it together and they're like, oh yeah, this is great. This time around, I want to thank you, veterans, because you changed these guys. You had an impact on them. When you came into the service centers and you shook their hand and thanked them for thanking you, it sounds crazy, but people don't do that anymore. And when people do that to these young guys, it makes an impact on them. So this was literally a way for me to get a community event that's in their wheelhouse, something that they could do well, and give it to somebody that would have meaning. And so thank you for helping us make that possible. Thank you to the 38 veterans that came in. It meant the world to us. We'll probably do it again next year, guys, so stay tuned on that one. All right, 888-250-2091. We got to take a quick break here on the program. When we come back on the show, Google hobbled lots of data centers. If you were trying to chat with your favorite online large retailer this week, it didn't work. We're going to tell you what happened. Also, Bonnie, Barb, and David, stay on the line. Your calls are coming up next on Compute This.
Today's fragile computers need maintenance more than ever. Your computer needs a maintenance checkup every 6 months to last beyond its 18-month expected lifespan. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. Compute This pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases, even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually, or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All right, guys. It's like a workout song this morning. Yeah, come on. All right, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. The phone number to join us on the program today, ask a question, make a comment, we'll get you in the drawing here. That number is 888-250-2091. We talked at the beginning of the program here about an issue that Chrome had with call centers. It wasn't limited to call centers, but call centers are the part that touched your life, which is why I'm talking about it. So what happened? Google makes a browser called Chrome, okay? Chrome, there's a Chromium, which is a browser that's open source and anyone can use it. Google Chrome is based on the Chromium open source browser. So if you want to run Chrome without all the Google spyware, you run Chromium. Hint, hint. So Google Chrome is a different browser than Chromium. It's built off of Chromium, but Google maintains it. And so Google tries to tweak and experiment and do different things. There was an idea that a Google engineer had. When you have a lot of tabs open in your Google browser, you might notice your computer start to slow down a little bit. And it's because each tab uses resources, but you can only use, you're a human, so you only use one tab at a time. But even when you switch between them, the ones that you're not using are still using all their resources. So what if we could, in essence, put those tabs to sleep so that the tab you're using is the only tab that's using all the resources, and that would give all this memory and stuff and processor time back to your computer, making your computer faster, which is really important in these call centers where they have they're helping 20 customers at one time. They've got a bunch of tabs open. Each customer is in a tab and they're going through and doing their chatbot thing in the call center. So Google tests this idea out in beta for 4 or 5 months. No one seems to complain. No one has an issue. So then they just decide, without any warning, notice whatsoever, that a new feature was being rolled into Chrome. They just push an update one day that adds this tab sleep function to the Google Chrome browser. You may have noticed this on your computer as well, although it was mostly experienced in corporate data centers. But when you're running Google Chrome all of a sudden and you would switch between your tabs, the tab you switched away from, when you switched back to it, was just a white screen. There was nothing there. They were not waking up again. And so you could refresh the tab, but if you've ever been in a chat with a call center before, what happens when you push that magic refresh button? Oh, hello, my name is Sam. It's not really Sam. My name is Sam, and I'm here to help you with the call center. How can I help you today? And you have to start all over again with the big explanation about why your stuff didn't get returned or whatever. That happened, and it went on for days. So first off, network administrators were enraged that Google could just come in and do this. The second thing, though, is Google says, no problem, no problem, no problem. We can fix it by disabling a setting in the Chrome settings. So let's fix this for you. Hold on just a second. Boom. Settings changed for everybody. Now network administrators went completely ape at this point. They're like, wait a minute, Google. You're telling me that you can change the settings in our super duper controlled lockdown environments, in our production environments, on our Chrome browsers without even consulting us? Not only can you push out an update that automatically installs, boo on us for having auto update turned on, but number two, you can force a settings change in something that's supposed to be done at the network administrator level. So they literally they accidentally punch themselves in one eye, and then to kind of make a matching set, they just punch themselves in the other eye. Google's Chrome team doesn't usually screw up like this, but if you had trouble getting through to somebody on a chat, that's why it happened. All right. So 888-250-2091. Welcome to the program, Bonnie. How can I help you today on Compute This?
I just about scammed. Thursday, I was working on the computer. Kindle pictures didn't go automatically on my Amazon.
Okay.
I was trying to send them from Cox to AOL. I couldn't get an AOL. And something came on the screen and said, "You're having trouble getting on AOL. Please call this number."
Okay.
And so I let them into my computer.
Okay. Yep.
And they had all these things. It was really suspicious since I just had it serviced. And that I said, I have a company here that services my computer. Oh, just a local company. And then they told me, that I told them I trusted you more than I trusted them. I did tell them that.
That probably made him mad.
What?
That probably made him mad.
I don't care. And then they had, all these things on my computer that were wrong with it. And they told me, AOL techs are the only one that can do this.
Okay.
Because I was trying to get on AOL, and they had all these things that were wrong with it. And how much is this going to cost me? It's not going to cost you anything until they wanted to put a firewall on. And they were going to charge me for it.
Yeah. Then it gets magical.
Yeah. Then I called your office, and they said, "Turn off the computer and bring it in." And I said, "I have to get this done tonight, or I won't get paid." Wasn't a big amount, but to me it was important that I got paid for the little job I did. And so they said, well, they, got me on Schrock desk, and the tech couldn't find what was, anything except something popped up. They got that off. But now Friday when I was on the computer, the same things popped up that was on it. Like all these things that were wrong with it. I said, "Oh, that's not good." But when the tech was on, he said he found iYogi, and he said, "You know what that is?"
Yeah, it's a remote access program.
Yeah, I know. I know that now. I didn't know what it was then. And so with trial and error, I found out how to uninstall iYogi, and I uninstalled it.
Gotcha. Well, that's good. Bonnie, we see this a lot that happens to customers when they call us. They have a legit problem with a router or with AOL in your case, and they Google or they get a phone number to call, and they call that number, and a couple different things can happen at this point. Option one is it could have been AOL actually giving you a support phone number. If that's the case, then once you got to the support company, they're getting paid by AOL to provide basic troubleshooting and support, and then they're trying to upsell you into things that you may or may not need. Option two was you have a completely fake phone number and you just called a scammer, and then they got into the computer. So guys, be aware of this. If you ever have a situation where something is asking you to call an 800 number for support, take a moment and just call us in the service center and ask us if we think that's legit. Because normally we see this so often. We can tell you over the phone, and if a phone conversation is 2 minutes or less, guys, there's no charges or anything. We don't even ask you for your name. Just give us a call at any of the 3 service centers and just run it past us, and we'll tell you whether it's safe to do it or not. All right. Thank you for that call. I appreciate it, Bonnie. It's a good lesson to remember for everybody. 888-250-2091. Coming up on the program, did you guys subscribe to Disney Plus? Well, be careful. Somebody might have stolen your account already. Apple says if your kids use Chromebooks, they will fail. Why this is causing a little bit of controversy. Also, Facebook just wanted to borrow your camera for a moment. It was purely accidental. We'll tell you what's going on there. And the Los Angeles District Attorney says your phone now needs a condom. Yeah, there's a lot to cover on the show, guys. Plus, David, MJ, and Diane, your calls coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations can't teleport technicians to you, but online help is only a click away with the Schrock Desk. Subscribe today and get unlimited help whenever you need it.
Welcome to Schrock Innovations. How can I help you today?
I'm having a problem with my computer.
You're at the right place. We fix problems with computers.
That's why I'm here.
What seems to be the problem with your computer?
When I press the power button, it doesn't boot up. How fast can you fix it?
We're the fastest computer fixer in Omaha. We'll fix it fast.
How fast?
Real fast. Do you have it plugged in when you turn it on?
Of course it was plugged in. Do people make that mistake a lot?
You'd be surprised. When you press the power button, what happens?
It roars, then stops and sits.
Ooh, like a lion?
Like a what? Well, I suppose.
Sounds like a bad power supply, sir.
Is that bad?
It's not good, but we can fix it fast.
How fast?
How's that for fast?
Does it work?
Yes, sir. More purring, less roaring now.
Wow, that was fast.
Schrock Innovations is the fastest computer repair in Omaha, sir.
That's great, but all this talking is making me hungry. You guys sell sandwiches?
We do fast computer repair. If you want a fast sandwich, you have to go someplace else. Why would we sell sandwiches?
I don't know. All this fast talking is strangely familiar.
Schrock Innovations. If you want a fast sandwich, don't go there. But if you want your computer fixed and back on your desk fast, give them a call or visit their website at SchrockInnovations.com. Compute this pro tip number 187. Recently, you may have received a phone call from someone claiming to be from Microsoft or had a message pop up on your screen telling you that your computer was infected. Do not respond to these calls or messages. They're always a scam. Microsoft will never call you about your computer. Here's how the scam actually shakes out. You get the phone call that your computer's infected. The scammers hit you with some mumbo jumbo about an infected IP address. They'll ask your permission to connect and help you fix it. Once they're in your computer, they do a bunch of fake scans that detect a lot of problems that really aren't there. You see the scan results and figure your computer's in trouble. Next, the scammers will demand up to $400 to clean up the computer and set you up with a lifetime protection. Don't fall for the scam. Keep good security software installed, like Endpoint and Secure Updater, so when things like this do happen, you know you are covered. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. The House impeachment inquiry hearing more closed-door testimony this weekend.
Well, on Saturday, lawmakers heard from Mark Sandy, an official at the Office of Management and Budget, on why military aid to Ukraine was held up. And after 5.5 hours of testimony, Republicans and Democrats walked away with very different takes on what they heard.
It seems clear to me from everything that I've seen that he had one thing in mind. He wanted to shake down President Zelensky.
Today was a great day for the Republic. It was a really bad day for Democrats.
Fox's Garrett Tenney reporting. Democrat John Bell Edwards wins his second term as Louisiana's governor in a runoff Saturday.
Edwards beat out Republican businessman Eddie Rispone by about 40,000 votes. Republicans put a lot of time and money into this race, hoping to capture the only Democratic governorship in the Deep South.
Fox's Aisha Hasmi. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Clouds will gradually decrease from west to east throughout the day today, with temperatures running a bit cooler than what we've been seeing the last couple of days. Highs topping out in the upper 40s near the 50-degree mark this afternoon. We'll drop down to the mid-30s tonight with highs back in the 50s on Monday. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All right, halftime's over. Hope everybody got their potty breaks in because we got a lot to cover here on Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Waiting for it? There it is. And we are here to help you with your computer problems. 888-250-2091 is the toll-free number to get on the program today. Ask a question, make a comment, and we'll get you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Want to brief everybody on what's going on with Drive Advisor. Drive Advisor is a free program that Schrock makes that monitors the health of your hard drive. And if your hard drive would start to fail, it alerts you via an email that your hard drive is having an issue. So we had a pretty routine update that came out for Drive Advisor. We wanted to capture some additional information about hard drives that would allow us to better predict the need to replace the drives. And also we wanted to set the ground for what we were going to include some battery monitoring options in Drive Advisor that will alert you when your laptop's battery needs to be replaced, which is kind of an important thing to know. So it doesn't, explode or catch on fire like a Tesla. That'd be bad. So we made these changes to Drive Advisor. We went from version 1.1.5 or 1.1.4 to 1.1.5, or as we're calling them, 0.4 to 0.5. And we noticed the first indication we had of something that was amiss is in our weekly meeting. I said, what's the adoption rate for the new Drive Advisor program? It's an auto update. So it literally should have been like the only people who haven't received it are people who haven't turned their computers on yet. Alfonso told me the adoption rate was 37%. And I was like, or no, it was 33%. Now it's up to 37. And we're like, okay, that's weird. So why is it so low? And what we found out is there was an issue where it would just spin on some computers and say working. And it seemed to me there's no rhyme or reason. Like none of our computers in the shop did it, but then we had certain customers that did it. Some customers who had it happen had really, slow computers. So we said maybe it's a timeout issue. Other customers had holiday specials from last year, really fast computers. So it wasn't a timeout issue. Some customers, so now basically what we've done is we're up to version 1.7 now, and we've solved the problem for a lot of people, but we're still having some people who are reporting when they open their Drive Advisor interface window, it just gives them a spinning icon and doesn't show them the health percentage of their drive. In version 1.17, we've introduced some diagnostic tools that will help us track down why this is happening. Right now, our leading educated guess on this, for example, my computer at home right now doesn't have the spinning circle, but I have two different types of solid states installed in my computer. I've got the regular solid state, the 2.5-inch solid state, and I have an M.2 solid state. The M.2s are the solid states that clip onto the motherboard. They don't look like a regular hard drive. They're like a microchip. Well, that one is not showing me any information. Well, it's showing me a health percentage now, and it wasn't before, but it's also that the temperatures are whack on it. We have some customers that report 0 degrees Celsius, which is, freezing. And we have some customers that reported 4,130 degrees Celsius, which is, the surface of the sun. So your computer is somewhere in between freezing and surface of the sun. That's not really useful. So there's a couple glitches there, but the main component of Drive Advisor that alerts you when your hard drive is not functioning is still working properly. This is a user interface error. So when you open up the window, it's not bringing the information up and showing it to you the way it's supposed to. We're working on this, guys. We've had a little bit going on this week. One of the things that we didn't anticipate, though, was when you launch your safe upgrade, it also, if you don't already have Drive Advisor, it installs Drive Advisor, and it waits to get a report back from the user interface on what the health percentage of your hard drive is. So some people running Safe Upgrade reported that it would freeze on them because their Drive Advisor wasn't giving them basically a result. And we figured that out too in the last week. So it was a little bit of a Drive Advisor fiasco last week, but we're working through it, guys. So hang with us with it. I know it's a free program, but we are supporting it. So be patient with us, and we're going to get a solution fixed up for you there. All right, 888-250-2091. Barb, welcome to the program. How can I help you and compute this?
Hi, Thor. Thank you. I appreciate you and your people.
Thank you.
Could you walk me through the steps of changing my password on my computer?
Yeah, so it's the password when you first turn on the computer?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the password right now?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through, are you in front of the computer right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so do you have a pen or something handy and I can give you the steps here?
Yes.
Okay, so first we're going to left click on the start menu.
Okay.
That's down in the lower left-hand corner there. And then I want you to left click on the gear. It's a little picture of a gear. It's the settings gear.
Okay.
This is going to open the Windows settings window. In here, you're going to see a control panel called Accounts. So left click on Accounts.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to open up the Your Info. It's got your pictures in here of what you look like when you log in, manage. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. If your computer is equipped with a Microsoft account, you'll see an option here that says Manage My Microsoft Account. If your computer is not equipped with a Microsoft account, you'll see a prompt here to change it to add a Microsoft account. So I'm going to move forward with the assumption that you do not have a Microsoft account right now. So if you don't, then on the left-hand side, there's a menu along the left-hand side of this screen, and there's an option there called Sign In Options. If you left-click on Sign In Options, there's a thing there that says password, and you of course click on password, and then you can click change to change your password.
Oh.
Now, if you have a Microsoft account, the process is a little bit different, but you have to go on the Microsoft website to change your password like you would with any other website. But it'll walk you through that from that same screen in the control panels. That's it.
Okay. So then do I have to enter my present password to change it?
Yes, you'll have to. Well, number one, you'll have to provide your password to get logged into the computer to get to this point.
Oh, okay, sure.
But yeah, so yeah,
Sure.
you will have to have your present password to change it. But you go through the steps there, and you pick the new password. It'll make you enter it 2 times just to prevent any kind of typos or misspellings. And then when you change it, it'll be effective immediately.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And for this safe upgrade, can I bring my computer in anytime now?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. We have bench spots open for safe upgrade. The process costs $80, so it's a little bit cheaper than a full hour of labor because once we have it pretty much down to a science where it's a fairly unattended process. Once we clear whatever hurdle is causing your computer to not want to take the upgrade, then at that point we run the upgrade, and then we walk away for an hour. We come back and joy. It's awesome. But yep, we can sure take care of you, Barb.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Thor.
All right. Thanks for your call. I appreciate it. All right. 888-250-2091. David, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Okay. I have the safe upgrade. I got 7 copies. I've run 2 of them.
Okay.
And in both cases, they disabled all or part of Outlook. And they did different things. One of them, the address book disappeared. The other one, I cannot do a send. I can receive for some reason, but the thing comes back and says, reporting error 0x800-4010F.
Okay.
And the guy, when I called in, I guess Friday, said there's a thing for Outlook 2010 and Outlook 2013.
Oh, God.
I don't think that's what I've got.
I was saying, I hope you're not running that. That's ancient.
No, and I stopped, and I need to have the thing functioning, so I don't want to go on the other computers and take the chance that I'm disabling still something else.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for letting me know about this, David. And this is a catch-22 that a lot of people find themselves in. It used to be back in the day, you could buy a piece of software, and I know you don't know that you're on Office 2010, but we have to find out. So give us a call on the service center on one of the computers that's having the Outlook problem, and let's get connected over the Schrock desk so we can see what version of Windows 10 you have, or excuse me, of Office that you have. If you have Office 2010, Office 2010 has not been compatible with Windows 10 for years. It's still not compatible is a funny thing because it still was working, but it was technically not supported, not compatible. Next time you have a problem or an issue, they don't test to make sure it works okay. They just assume that you're not using it anymore. So the problem you have here is you can't avoid this upgrade. So the upgrade itself is going to cause this problem on all of your computers eventually. So you're 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If you don't do it with safe upgrade, you're going to get it forced on you automatically at a time not of your choosing. If you are running Office 2010 on all these computers, we've got to get you new copies of Microsoft Office. That's what's going to have to happen. For the Outlook, the least expensive one that has Outlook is Office Home and Business. Runs about $250 per license. A lot of people had the mistaken impression in the past that you could run it. Microsoft gives you a license to run a copy on one desktop and one laptop whenever you buy it. That was never the case. They give you one copy per computing device that you have, and then you have to buy additional copies if you want them on additional devices. So if you are running Office 2010, that's the problem. We got to get you off of Office 2010. And the fact that it happened after you did the safe upgrade didn't cause the Office 2010 to stop working. Safe Upgrade installed Windows 10 version 1909, and your Office 2010 has a compatibility issue apparently with that. So what we can do is we can try to find a workaround for you. That's what the guys at the shop were saying, is there might be a workaround or something that we can change or tweak to make this try to function again. But the big problem is we can't uninstall and reinstall your Office 2010 because the activation servers are gone. We won't be able to activate it. And so you'll get it reinstalled and it just won't work. I mean, it may turn on, it may load, it'll work great for 30 days. Then it's going to demand to be activated and you won't be able to activate it. Thank you for the call, David. I appreciate it. 888-250-2091. Apple's marketing boss slams $160 Chromebooks as cheap. Says kids who use them in school over a $450 iPad will not succeed in a diatribe blasted as shockingly out of touch. That headline is from the UK Daily Mail, who is notorious for writing shocking headlines. So, okay, here's what happened. So the point that the Apple boss, his name is Phil Schiller, was trying to make was that there's a situation now with Chromebooks where Apple has always been the educator's choice. Apple's policy has always been to expose kids to their technology early through the school system. That way, as they grow up and get older, they will be comfortable with Apple technology and they will want to continue to use it. Going all the way back to my childhood in the 80s, I remember playing Oregon Trail on an Apple IIe in the back of the classroom. Yep. And then, oh my gosh, by the time I was in junior high school, we had an Apple II GS. It had dual floppy disk drives, one for the boot disk and one for the program disk I had a crush on my programming teacher in junior high school. It's a funny thing. It's one of those things. I took a lot of programming classes because I was very, very interested in programming, and then, you go on through life. And it was when I was in high school, we had Mac Classics in the journalism lab. I mean, Apple is everywhere through schools. And so now what's happening, though, is schools are pressed on budget. There's a lot of money going into schools, and there's never, no matter how much money you give a school system, there's never enough money, apparently. So where can we cut and get some budget back? Well, they said, these Chromebooks, they allow kids to do their homework. They are inexpensive at under $200 a piece. They're very cheap. If the kids break one, it's not the end of the world. You can't get them infected with viruses or malware, realistically. So it doesn't really, there's no harm, and you don't have to protect them. We don't have to pay a lot of money. They can't use hacking tools and stuff on them. They can't get in trouble with these things. They can get on the internet, and we can monitor everything they do on the internet. So that's a safe bet, right? Or we can give them the $450 iPad, which everyone knows you don't get the iPad for $450 because it doesn't have enough storage space. You get the bigger iPad, and that costs like $600. And then when you have the iPad, you have to have all these tools to lock it down and monitor it. And then the screen gets cracked, and then you have to take it to an Apple authorized repair center to replace the screen. Just ask Westside High School in Omaha. They have stacks of MacBooks that go out for replacement, stacks of them. So it's kind of tempting for schools to buy the $200 Chromebook because it's a throwaway piece of junk technology. Apple's not wrong about that. Chromebooks are garbage. They are really bad. But the impression that Phil gave here is he was saying poor kids don't get good educations because they don't got money. Because poor kids don't have Apple products. That's what came out of this article. And he had to clarify that by saying, Apple's goal has always been to provide the best educational tools possible to get kids to engage, because engaged kids are kids that learn. And he was making the argument that if you don't give them a special piece of technology that they feel special about having, they're not going to engage, which means they're not going to have a great educational experience. So in other words, your children of the 21st century, they need the brand. They need the Louis Vuitton backpack and the Apple iPad and at their desk, because the Google Chromebook, the logo is way not cooler. It's not even healthy. I don't even know what those balls are. They're not fruit, though. I'll tell you that. We can go all day here. This was a bad faux pas on his part. He was making the point that Google is encroaching on one of Apple's stalwart areas where they have always been dominant, and Google is successfully encroaching on that, and Apple doesn't like it. Understood. To say that kids can't learn unless they have a device that costs 2.5 times what competing devices cost is pushing it a lot, actually, because I learned a lot and I didn't have any devices. And those books, they made me put brown paper bags on them. I had to make my own brand, okay? And I was not cool at that back in the day. There were those kids that could make the fancy book covers and they had cool designs on them and stickers. No, I wasn't that kid. I was the kid with 2 Sharpies that would bleed through onto the book, and I had to buy the book anyway. Okay? That was me. So kids can learn without the brand. This was an unfortunate faux pas from Phil Schiller over at Apple, but it did cause a little uproar. You might have heard about it on social media this week. 888-250-2091. MJ and Diane, stay on the line. Your calls coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs. And all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. And now Compute This Pro tip number 373. Everyone knows we're supposed to back up our computers and then check those backups periodically to make sure they're working. So why don't most people do it? Lots of people have different ideas about what backing up means. Is it copying files to a flash drive? Is it using a fancy backup program? And how do you know it's working anyway? Windows makes backups easy through free software that's already on your computer. Open your control panels and click Update and Security. Select Backup and choose from all of the available options to get a regular, reliable checkup. You'll need something to back up to, like a Schrock modular storage device or some other backup hard drive. Backups usually run once a week, but you can always change the frequency. The best part is that if your backup ever fails, you'll see a notification in the lower right corner by your clock telling you something's up. Backing up your important data has never been easier. So take a moment to back up your computer today. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back in. Final segment of Compute This, and I've got a lot to do. We are behind schedule, if you will. So first off, Facebook this week. You probably heard about this in the news. There was a thing where Facebook was accidentally activating the camera on your phone when you weren't aware. So lots of people give Facebook permission to use camera and microphone on the phone because if you want to go live or you want to do things like that, you have to give Facebook permission to use your camera and your microphone on your phone. What someone noticed, Facebook pushed out a new version, and when people rotated their phone to the side out of landscape mode, they saw a second window behind it that was actually the video preview window that showed a live shot of whatever the camera was looking at. So think about what you were doing the last time you opened the Facebook app. And there was a live shot of that being streamed to your phone's camera. No, I'm not saying there might have been. I'm saying if you're running an iOS device, there was. Now, the good news here, if there is good news, is Facebook promises that that camera feed was not being streamed anywhere. It was just the live preview mode of what you would see, before you went live, for example, which every week when I go live at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, there's a live preview of what my camera sees before I go live. So I totally, it's actually believable, guys. I don't know if it's true, but it's actually believable. And they said they pushed out an update to fix that, and Apple's approving that update right now. So in the next day or so, your phones will all get updates. In the meantime, if you are concerned, go to the Facebook website to check your Facebook rather than opening the app on your iPhone. Otherwise, you can always revoke the permission from Facebook to use camera and microphone. If you never go live or do anything like that, there's no reason for Facebook to have that anymore. So it might not be a bad idea to do that. All right, let's jump back into these phones real quick. MJ, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Well, it's already been helped, and that's why I called. I had an appointment on Friday, so I was going to be out that way. I grabbed my laptop because I can't, after I got my wonderful message from you, I cannot do the download for the Windows 10 because somehow I expanded my screen to beyond being able to use it. And I couldn't figure out how to minimize it back down. So I ran into the store out at 84th. It took me longer for me to explain to her what was going on than it was for her to take her fingers and it was all, she put her healing hands upon my computer and it was done.
Praise the Nikki.
And I wanted to properly thank her because I had an appointment and I maybe had just thank you and ran out. I really wanted her to know how much I appreciate what she did.
Well, no problem,
So
MJ. I will pass this on, and I tell these little pups, you got to listen to the radio show, guys, because customers call in and give you compliments. This is ego-inflating stuff, and you guys are just not consuming it. So, MJ, I will tell you of your kind words, and I will use them as bribery. I won't tell her that they're in the last 4 minutes of the program. I'll make her listen to the entire show to get to the part about her.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you for taking the time to call in, MJ. I appreciate it. All right, Diane, what can I do for you on the program today on Compute This?
Hi, Thor. I had a quick question. I was interested in your holiday special.
Okay.
And I know I picked up one of your brochures, and it talks about the desktop lasting up to 10 years.
Yeah.
But I was interested in the laptop. Want to know 2 questions. If that one would last as long as properly taken care of. And then do you suggest, I know I was going to get the endpoint, but also do you suggest highly getting the secure updater?
Yes,
and is
I do.
that always $50, or is it at the time of the purchase?
It's $50 when the first time you get it, and it's $25 a year to renew it. So it costs just over $2 a month to have secure updater on your computer in the long run. So as far as the laptops don't last typically as long as desktops as a rule, just because they're portable. Now, if you plug it in and leave it on a desk like a desktop and you never move it, yeah, you're going to last just as long as a desktop. If you're carrying it around, the odds of it getting dropped, cracked, bounced, and now that they all have solid states, we're one of the only companies, in fact, we're the only company that I know of that sells exclusively solid state computers. The big problem you had in the past was the hard drives would go bad from getting jostled around. Well, that won't happen with a holiday special laptop because everything inside is solid state, just like all of our laptops. And so we have a much lower failure rate among our computers than other competing brands because we don't use the cheap hard drives that spin and fail. So, I would tell you very comfortably 6 to 10 years on the laptop if properly maintained. The only other thing that really kills a laptop is heat. So they call them laptops, but you're not supposed to use them on your lap. You're not supposed to use them on a bed. You're not supposed to use them on the arm of the couch. You're not supposed to use them on a pillow because they suck air in the bottom and blow it out the sides. So they're supposed to be on a hard, flat surface where the rubber feet can raise it high enough so it can get airflow. We all live in the real world, though, and we're all going to use it on the arm of the couch or on a pillow or on a bed or a carpet or somewhere else, it's a laptop. It's made to be portable. So with that in mind, it's going to last probably a little bit less long than 10 years, but not significantly so.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Diana. I appreciate it. Today's winner is David. Congratulations, David. You got yourself a $25 gift certificate from Schrock Innovations. A couple stories that I'm trying desperately to get to here. The Los Angeles District Attorney says that your phone needs a condom. So apparently, the microcomputers now are so small that if you find a loose charging cord laying on the street somewhere, you pick it up and you use it to charge your phone, it can actually infect your phone or your computer with a virus. So this condom device, basically what it does is it plugs into your USB port, you plug the cord into it, and it gets rid of the data pin, so it only transmits power to your phone. So the Los Angeles District Attorney wants you to practice safe phone charging. All right, stay tuned for the Aftershock coming up next on Facebook, and we'll see you next week for another edition of Compute This.
Fueled by Hy-Vee, home of hot deals and hundreds of price declines. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB, Omaha, an iHeart radio station.